Has it ruined your relationship with food and dieting? Did you reward yourself at the end with a huge binge? It was so extreme and you hated every minute of it. Why don't we do 6-week transformations?
I can be shredded in 6 weeks. It sounds extremely appealing, doesn't it? You can have short-term success, but you can actually end up in a worse position long-term because you pursued that short-term success.
And a lot of people they'll hate themselves and then look at another 8-week, whatever it may be, and it's just the cycle repeats.
There's so many caveats to it. If you're really looking at making life-lasting changes, I would probably look towards
Supra Human.
why don't we do 6-week transformations? I saw something on Instagram, I think like yesterday, where someone was promoting like a six weeks to shreds Christmas special deal or something.
Santa shred.
They're everywhere now.
Santa shreds.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's like the bodybuilding pose with the like canvas hat on, the Christmas hat.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
But the 6-week, sometimes it's 4, but like, because we spoke about it the other week where we said, we got 4 weeks to get in the best shape. What would you do? And that was a bit kind of tongue in cheek. But you see these,
we don't sell those. Like, if I had to do one, that's what I do. But we don't.
It
sell
was pretty
them.
extreme as well.
Yeah, and so like you'll see like these, 6-week programs, 6 weeks to this, and I think there's a multitude of reasons as to why we don't do anything less than 6 months. At Supra, typically 12. Is ideal.
Yeah,
but I think there's. Again, like when we spoke about the 4-week plan that we would do, we preface that with, this is absolutely unsustainable. It's a means to an end kind of thing. And I think the issue with a lot of these like 6 weeks to shredded diets is there's no kind of like disclaimer at the beginning where it's like, this is not made to be a sustainable program. This is an extreme diet for 6 weeks and then after which you will then need to do X, Y, and Z, or weight gain may be, very common. It's kind of like, it's sold as do this for 6 weeks, job done. And, you're not going to have to diet again. You're going to be in great shape, awesome. And it's got no, they don't talk about where you're starting out. Like 6 weeks to shreds, start at 400 pounds. Like, good luck.
It sounds extremely appealing, doesn't it? It's like, I can be shredded in 6 weeks. Like, that sounds fantastic. And what, for $150?
Yeah. Brilliant. And everyone else is offering, 12 weeks, 24 weeks, 12 months. And it's like, well, this seems like it's going to do the same thing, but faster.
Yeah.
Bit of a red flag, but, because if everyone else could do it that fast, they would.
Yeah.
But,
Extreme styles, doesn't it?
I'm going to be honest. If you're looking to make any progress in fitness, and this is fast case now, anything less than 12 weeks, you ain't going to get nothing. No. And I'll be honest, 12 weeks is like someone who's already nailing most things, and they just need a bit of like programming support. Fine. Yeah. But it's like, I'd say for the vast majority, a bare minimum of 6, 10, 12, longer. Like it's a long game.
The disclaimer is really important, because I know you said about this before, Ben, where you said like a lot of people say if you can't see yourself doing it for the rest of your life, you shouldn't do it at all. It's like, well, maybe that's not the goal of the plan. Because like you could a disclaimer could be 6 weeks, drop 15 pounds, and that's it. Not like 6 weeks and you're going to sustain this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because I don't like that thing when people say like, if you can't see yourself doing it in a year, you shouldn't be doing it. It's like, well, I don't want to diet for a year. Like I want to diet for 6 months, and so it needs to be sustainable for the duration that I need it for. But I think with the, you can absolutely get results in 6 weeks, but I would always say, then what?
Yes.
Like, are you going to do the same 6-week plan again? Like, do you keep going? Do you stop? Like, if it was too aggressive, like, has it now ruined your relationship with food and the idea of dieting? Like, because it was so extreme and you hated every minute of it? Did you reward yourself at the end with a huge binge and then you gained 10 pounds and you're like, fuck, now I hate myself? Like, there's so many, like, caveats to it, and that's why like I really don't like working with those short-term durations. Even if someone come to me and was in fairly decent shape and they're like, I want to be in great shape in 6 weeks time, like morally as well, if it's one of you guys, then fine, because I know you have good relationships with food, good foundations and things. But for someone I don't know, I'd be like, I'm quite uncomfortable doing that because there's so many downsides to doing this. I don't really feel comfortable knowing that that's likely going to happen. You know, and it happens with men, but also with women as well. It's like, if someone challenged me to fuck up someone's relationship with food in 6 weeks, I could absolutely do it. And it's like, and that could take years to fix. And so it's like, why would I want to play with that fire? Like,
you want to have at least a very good baseline of like foundations of habits and behaviors, even if you was going to consider something like that. It's like a lot of people that do it, they have a very poor foundation. They do something really extreme. Like they get great results, but then like even in week 5, they're already thinking about going back to their old ways.
They're writing down their cheat meal.
Yeah,
that they're gonna have at the end.
literally. And it's like, and their baseline is already down here. Whereas like what they should be doing is building up their baseline, which unfortunately you can't do that in 6 weeks. Well, you can improve on it, but not to a sustainable, not to like a significant effect.
One of a perfect example of that is one of my guys is I've been working with him for 2 years now. And like he's in a great spot. But when it comes to Jan, we're going to do like a fat loss sprint. So we're going to do 4 weeks of quite an aggressive cut for something that he has coming up. And it's like, he's fine with that. It's like, we know what we're doing going into it. So we've like primed him for it. Like he's ready for it. Post, we know exactly how we're going to reverse out. Actually, the event that he's got, we're going to reverse out prior to that to make sure that he's not going into that starving as well. It's like, this is all planned out as part of a long game. But when it's like just 6 week shred, like that's the only part that you're looking at, like in isolation, as you just said, it's like you can have short-term success, but you can actually end up in a worse position long-term because you pursued that short-term success and without any other long-term plan.
Yeah. And a lot of people they'll like hate themselves and then look at another 8 week, whatever it may be, you know, and it's just the cycle repeats.
Because now you're in more stress now and you feel even worse. So the appeal of a 6 week, 8 week solution is even more like, oh, that sounds even better now. And you end up just in these cycles of just like 6 week shred, 6 week shred. Oh, that one's 4 week. I'll do a 4 week now. 4 week shred, 4 week shred. And it's like you end up just spinning your wheels and in the long run, just going back further and further and further. And it's like, for a lot of people, sometimes it's just about like sitting in really small changes, making slow progress, and just doing that over a long period of time.
Doesn't sell though, does it?
No. When I got my Christmas hat on and my posing trunks and go like, 2 years, gradual fat loss.
I felt really sad listening to that, you know?
But this is where, again, then we'll get clients that will say like, I've tried everything and nothing works. And then it's like, well, how long did you do it for? A week. How long did you do that for? 4 weeks. How did that? 6? It's like, you didn't do any of it for long enough to actually get the results anyway.
You haven't tried it all. You tried the same thing 15 times. You haven't tried. You've only tried one thing. You just keep trying it again and again.
That you can only sustain for 3 weeks. It's like,
And then they'll say, but I know what my body needs. It's like, how? But this is the thing, like
another 6 week shred.
We'll have clients where you might spend the first 4 weeks just getting them into the groove of starting to stick to their plan, or even like figuring out exactly where that initial plan needs to start. You know, it's not uncommon to have, you know, you do an onboarding call, get the initial plan going. Week 1, they get sick. You know, right, week 2, we're going to try and get a baseline now because we couldn't get it in week 1. Week 3, they're traveling for work. Cool. Doesn't happen that often, but is a bit of a regular occurrence. Cool. Now we've got a different scenario that we need to work with. So like you spend that first month just getting to know the client, like what's their personality like? How do they operate? What's their adherence level? You know, where's their skill levels? All of these things. It's only till like month 2 and 3 that you actually kind of get some momentum going. So to think that you're going to kind of get that from like day 0 and just knock it out the park for 6 weeks, I think it's like very, very, very unlikely.
Unrealistic expectation, isn't it?
Well, I can guarantee if you're looking to make significant results in 6 weeks, it's going to be aggressive. It's going to be really aggressive. And if it's really aggressive, well, one, you might even be overwhelmed right out the gates, and it's not going to be a 6 week shred. It's going to be 6 weeks to nothing. Or it's going to be really aggressive. You're not going to enjoy it at all. You might see some progress, and then you're more likely going to lose that progress, if not go backwards. So it's like, although on the front end, it's very appealing because it's maximum outcome, short period of time. So it's an easy sell. It's in the long game, when you actually think about it in a bit more detail, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. If it was two things that would tell me someone's going to rebound after something like a 6-week shred, is that like there's no exit strategy and they hate every day of that 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to rebound, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know?
I remember being, when I was prepping for one show, I think it was my second ever show I did. I really timed it poorly. I was just, I was coaching myself. And I remember like looking at my quads, which are always lean, and I was like, I'm so close. I'm so close. And then I got about 6 weeks out, and I remember looking at a back shot and going, oh, mate, I'm miles off. I'm nowhere near. And I remember I had to slash Cal's to like, I think it was like around 1.5-ish, 1.5 mark. And I had to run that for like 6 weeks. And like my activity levels were really high. And I still wasn't ready. I still came in quite soft. And the rebound on that one was the worst, because I was so stressed thinking I'm not going to come in ready for this. I had people come into the event, so it wasn't as if I could shift the event. I was like, oh, people have already said they're coming. I've already put it out there. I put all this pressure on myself. And it was such an aggressive cut for me. Like I just had to go so extreme in both ways that after the rebound, I was like, I didn't even want to think about anything nutrition based. I barely wanted to train. I was like, and I always like to train. And I remember just the rebound being so hard to manage because I had just pulled that spring so hard in that one direction. Yeah, it's rough, really rough.
It's like an elastic band, and you pull it so far, it's either going to snap or you're going to rebound the other way twice as fast.
I shot from here to Scotland.
But you said it right, like in terms of like the expectations that people have as to what they can achieve in 6 weeks. Like it's, you know, my expectations of what you can achieve in 6 weeks, for me personally, is quite high. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, with the extreme, it's like, you know, if you know, $1 million on the table, you know, what can you do in 6 weeks? A shocking amount of like great results, but that shouldn't be the expectation for the average person that, you know, isn't really into fitness, hasn't done a lot of dieting or training or anything like that. But then again, like the way these things are sold is you'll go on social media and you'll see some before and afters, and for all you know, they weren't 6 weeks. They might have been 6 months, but they're just using them on social media. Not uncommon. You know, people do lie on social media, beleave it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a journal article, the Lancet.
Yeah. And so a lot of times you'll see before and afters that they didn't do that in 6 weeks. You know, it might have taken 6 months or 12 months. And even if they did do it in 6 weeks, it's like you'll get the anomaly of the bunch where maybe they did have loads of prior experience and they had 6 weeks off work. They don't have kids, you know, and their entire environment is completely different to yours. But now you've gone, well, they can do it, so can I. And it's like you're comparing, you know, apples to bananas. It's like it's a completely different situation. Yeah. And it can be really like, again, it's like that frustration and, you know, even like sadness comes from the unrealistic expectations and not meeting them. And then when really it's like, you never had a chance to begin with. Like it's like you were completely delusional of what you thought you could do in 6 weeks. And then if you're really honest with yourself and you look at your own personal track record, and it's like, have you stuck with anything in your life for 6 weeks? Like aside from drinking beer, like no. It's like, so why did you think that you were just gonna like sign up to Santa Shreds and just like knock it out the park? When really it's like you should have gone, I'm going to spend the next 6 weeks weaning down my alcohol intake. And then I'm going to progress the next 6 weeks to maybe cutting back even more. And then like you could set like mini 6 week goals, but it's not like the whole program isn't going to be condensed into 6 weeks. Like behavior change takes so long, especially when you've got habits and behaviors that have been solidified for decades. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I've smoked for 40 years and I just stopped. It's like, maybe there are people that have done it. Very, very rare.
Usually the motive is very powerful.
Yeah. And even then, it's a progression of like, I went to patches, then I went to gum, you know, and then then vapes, and then I stopped or whatever. It's like there's, you know, I'm not going to say no one can do it, because I'm sure there's someone that go, one day I just decided to stop and I just stopped. Like I'm sure they did. But again, is that the average person that tries to quit smoking? No. Like, and it's no different than the average person that tries to lose weight. Like, do they get meaningful results in 6 weeks? No. So I would ask, like, how many of these 6 week things do you need to try and fail before you then go, maybe this isn't the way? Like, and for a lot of people, it's like they do it for years. Like, it's just, they just program hop over and over and over. And it's like, how many of these do you need to not get results for 10 years for you to go, you know what, I think I'm going to invest in a 12-month program rather than 6 weeks?
You can see why people fall for it. It's like, they're obviously naive. They don't know very much about this world. They only see what they see on social media and what gets attention, the extremes. Then they've been promised a result that is like, I'm going to solve your health and fitness problem and get you the goal that you want in 6 weeks. Then they've been shown evidence of someone who has also done it. So it's like from a consumer standpoint, it's like, oh, this is too good to be true. And normally, if it is too good to be true, it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when they buy, I can see why they make that call. But then it's like, how many times are you going to make that call?
I totally get it, because we spoke about it before, where, with all these gimmicks and stuff, and the people that buy into them, like when you look at like someone who's got these goals of weight loss, whatever, if you look at it from a pain standpoint, it's like what you said, it's like, I'm in pain. This person is claiming they can solve that pain in a much faster time than everyone else. Why do I don't want to be in pain? They can solve it faster. I'm going to go with this one. Like, but then it's like, I've done it for 6 weeks and I'm still in pain. Oh, this one's saying they can do it in 3 weeks. Like, I'm still in pain. And I totally get why people sign up, because, if you're 300 pounds and miserable and someone's saying like, epic results in 6 weeks, you're like, cool.
Yeah.
The faster I can get out of this pain, the better. Yeah. But, it's kind of like coming to that point that accepting like, what I have is kind of like something that can't be treated in a 6 week course. It's going to be a 12-month course of something, and I think it sucks. Like, I think when you're in that position, even if you spent 20 years gaining the weight to get to the point where you are, where you're really unhappy and you want to make a change, when someone then turns around and goes, it's going to take you 3 years to really kind of get this off, like, that's like, oh. Like, why bother? Like, kind of thing. It feels like the rest of your life when it's really not, but like the perception of it is. So it's like, no wonder you're going to go for a 12-week program or a 6 week program. Like, it makes complete sense.
Like, one of the things that I tend to do with clients who's gone through that is like, I'll ask a question like, how long have you been trying these sorts of things? Like, how long have you been trying to lose weight? And they'll be like, 10 years. Like, well, if I get it off you in 2, like, that's a great return on your investment.
5x in
5x.
Yeah.
So like, you can reframe it that way. Like, and sometimes that works as well. But again, it's like, they're always going to go for like a 6 week challenge.
But and that's the problem is they're not comparing to how long it took them to gain the weight.
Right.
They're comparing it to what this other person is promising that they can solve that problem in, and then showing them a transformation. Whereas like, but that guy was already in shape. He got himself a bit out of shape because he went on an all-inclusive. Then he just tidied things back up and now he's in shape again. It's like, you can see why they make that mistake of signing up to that program. But it's a slippery slope once you go down that road.
Because we do have clients where it's not uncommon for someone to lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks, but that, I'm not saying 20 pounds of fat, like that might be 15 pounds of water, bloat, and then 15 pounds of fat. But I see it a lot with clients where, because they see these programs advertised everywhere, and then there's someone there before and after, and it's like, this guy lost 35 pounds in 6 weeks. Now the expectation of rate of loss is like 5 pounds a week is the norm. And then they're doing phenomenal in the program. They're losing between 1.5, 3 pounds a week, which is very, very fast. Yet they're like, their happiness is like a 1 out of 5, and they're like, I should be losing weight faster. And it's like, fucking says who? Everything they're basing it off is social media bullshit. Like, and because we know like reasonable rate of loss, 0.5 to 1% of body weight, maybe 1.5% if you're on the heavier side,
aggressive,
to minimize health risks, muscle loss, all of those things. But then it's when they break down what they're expecting, it's like, you're expecting to lose like 4% a week. Like, how where has that come from?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the damage comes in. It's like it reframes their expectations, and that hinders them to like lose weight and sustain in the long term when they actually find like a good program like Supra Human.
Yeah.
So you have to try and break down that belief. It's like, oh well, I lost 10 pounds in the first week on this other program. It's like, yeah, because you didn't eat.
You didn't eat for a week.
Yeah, you lost loads of glycogen and loads of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not fat.
Yeah. You drank a load of lemon water and you shat for 10 days. Like,
I've always said it's unrealistic expectations are the killer of motivation.
Yeah.
And it is. It's like when you just think about the way it works, it's like if you do something and it gets you the desired outcome, then your motive to keep doing it is higher because this is an outcome that you want and you know the behavior gets you it. But if the behavior can remain the same, but if the perceived outcome is now very high, you still might be getting what would in general be considered a good outcome, but the perceived outcome is way over. The bigger that gap gets, the less satisfied you are with the outcome you're getting. So now it's like, and this is where you'll see it's really important to nip that in the bud straight away. When you see a client, like they might lose 5 pounds in their first week and they're like buzzing. And now I try and reinforce like that it is normal to see quite a high gap early, but this isn't something to expect as the road goes further. Like this is going to dwindle down as it becomes more fat loss and not just total weight loss. Because if they have that expectation then in week 5 and they're like, oh, I've only lost 1 pound. And it's like, but 1 pound of body fat for the week is actually a great rate of weight loss still. But their perception is 5, which is a massive drop from 5 to 1. So now it's like their motivation to continue pursuing those behaviors is going to drop off. And now it's like, it's such a shame to see someone achieve great results and then become demotivated just because their perceived expectations of those behaviors is just way over the top.
Yeah.
It's almost like going to the gym and expecting you're going to look like the Incredible Hulk. And it's like you've trained for 6 weeks, you followed your program to a T, you gained 3 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks. Like you've done as good as it gets. But then you're like, oh, but I'm not green and I'm not 6'9" and I'm not absolutely massive. You're trying to like tense up and go green in the mirror and you're like, shit. But then you're like, oh, fuck, I've binned off the program now. And it's like, oh, you were on your way to making phenomenal progress, but because you had this weird thing that you had in your head, it's completely skewed it. And that's where social media has a huge thing. And this is where marketing and real life, because again, if you promise the world, it's an easy sell, but then on the back end, then it can end up in a real bad result because their expectations are so false.
It's where like self-sabotage comes in then, where it's like, oh, it's not working, whatever. And then they regress and it's like, you're losing 3 pounds a week and then you binged at the weekend because you didn't lose 5. And now we've got to lose the same 3 again, plus 1 that you gained at the weekend. And then the cycle repeats. And it's just, that's the biggest one is like, because if the expectation on all social media and everything was like, you know, if you're losing ½ pound a week, you are doing fantastic. Like everyone would just be over the moon with their results continuously. They'd just be, oh my God, this program is amazing. I'm losing twice the amount as the expected. Like I'm losing £1 a week.
Yeah.
And like coaches will be happy. We'll be like, oh, perfect, sustainable, easy. But it's this crazy expectation that is really made up of nonsense from social media.
To make a quick
then,
buck.
Yeah. It's the same as anything. Financial success, you see people, they're like, they've 4x their income in a 4-year period. And you're like, mate, that's phenomenal. Yeah. Like you're doing a phenomenal job. And then you'll see someone online who, sold his t-shirt for 10 mil online and he's got this nice car and stuff. And you're like, oh, this is rubbish. Or he's like significantly younger than you and he's way more successful. And it's like, because it's skewing your perception of what's realistic, of what's true. And that's where social media, like when you think about the extent that it gets with AI and edited photos and things, now you're comparing your results to things that aren't even real. It's like, now I'm literally comparing to fiction. And if you're comparing to fiction, then you're completely fucked because it's like this is not even within the realms of possibility. And that's how you're comparing your real progress to. And slippery slope.
Like the biggest thing with like, again, it's one of the most common things that we have to manage with clients is frustration when they want to be getting results faster than what they are. And like frustration solely comes from expectations aren't aligning with reality. And so how do you get rid of your frustration? You change reality or you change your expectations. Most of the time we can't change reality. but you can just change your expectation in an instant. And you can completely get rid of your frustration. And it's like people will go like 12 months being really frustrated every week, and like that they're stuck in traffic. And it's like, but you're in it every day. Like it's the same time every day. You have to take the same route home every day. Either take a different route or be okay with the traffic. Like otherwise you're being frustrated for half your life for no reason other than you're choosing to, versus changing your expectation going, it takes me an hour to get home rather than 10 minutes because there's traffic. Like that's the expectation. So when it takes an hour, you're like, yeah, that's what I expected.
Yeah.
But it baffles me how long people can go before they just go, you know what, I'm just going to change my expectation of this. Like, and it's the same thing with fat loss and weight loss and programs and things. Like, how many of these things do you need to go and try before it's like, maybe I just need to change my expectation? And, and that expectation is completely made up. It's like all of our expectations of like how the world works is based on what our previous experiences, what we've been taught by our parents, what we see on social media, like our own beliefs and things. And it's like, you can change all of those. Like none of those things are like universally true. Like they're just things that you've learned. And so you could just go, like if I said my expectation in Wales is it rains every single day. When it doesn't rain, I'm like, oh, awesome. Great. If my expectation was, oh, it only rains like once a week and it rains every day, I'm fuming.
Yeah.
But then I would say, well, how long does it have to rain every day for me to go, my expectations might not be correct here? Versus I go, I'm just going to be annoyed every day when it rains.
Yeah.
Like you're choosing to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. Like, because again, when you look at frustration, it's like, well, frustration is stress. And when you're stressed, then you can hold on to water and you do stupid things and behaviors and things. And that slows down your results. And so you can speed up all of your results by just not being frustrated by them.
It's a lot of freedom and a change in perspective, isn't it?
If you are going to look at data to assess your progress, you better analyze that data through the right lens. Otherwise, you're going to be extremely frustrated. Remember back in COVID when it would be like, oh, X amount of people died per day. And it was like, fuck, that sounds like loads. And then it was like, well, what was that last year? Oh, it was near the same. Like, oh, well, actually, it's, if anything, it's quite normal. It hasn't changed at all. It's like, you have to add, like, you have to look through the data with the right lens, because you can look at different data with the same data with a different lens, and you interpret it way, way different. Because if you've lost 4 pounds in the last 2 weeks, if I put my fat loss lens on, I go, oh, Ryan's doing amazing. If I put muscle gain lens on, I go, oh my God, he's doing terrible. So it's like the data hasn't changed, but I'm interpreting the data differently. So it's important that you're interpreting the data that you're seeing with the right lens in order to actually, build a realistic analysis of what the hell is actually going on.
I was laughing to myself when you said about the weather then, in terms of like, because everyone in Wales always expects it to rain, then it goes up to like 15 degrees, everyone's tops up, whipping up the barbecue in the backyard.
Over the moon.
People in Arizona have like a hoodie on, so freeze.
But it's like that expectation is everything. Like and like you said, like how you perceive the data, the lens that you're looking through, because like it is like that is the thing that slows people down the most. Is just they get frustrated, then they sabotage themselves, and then it's rinse and repeat. And it's I feel like the faster you can just remove that emotion out of it and be truly data driven, like you can get loads of great results in 6 weeks. But then also, I'd also say, look at any other, and again, this goes back to expectations, where people get annoyed when they don't get results in 6 weeks. Look at your job. When you started your job, were you good at it in 6 weeks, or did it take you 6 to 12 months to really get used to all the systems and know the ins and outs? If you played sports when you were a kid, could you do 20 kick-ups the first time you tried, or were you just in the back garden every day practicing for ages till you got good at them? Like, how long did it take you to get good at these things? And if you can find something that someone is very, very good at, that they're passionate about, and they go, like, say, like playing an instrument, go, oh, it takes years. I've been playing for 15 years. Like, people think they can just pick up a guitar and just fucking play. Like, it takes years to get it perfect, like hand placement and stuff. Because, like, right, so why the fuck do you think you can lose fat in 6 weeks, like someone that's been doing it 15 years? Like, you've just told me all the reasons why it takes longer to build this skill, but then you can't apply it to this thing. And it's like the same people will be like, I'm really annoyed it's not happening faster. It's like, well, I want to be able to play Elvis fucking songs on my guitar, but I can't. Like it's just like it takes longer to practice. Like, and you have to be okay with that.
Especially when it's a skill that is, when you look at the global population, it's not something that we're that good at. Like we're not naturally good at it. If anything, we're naturally pretty terrible at it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not something that you're just going to be like gifted at, especially if you found yourself in a position whereby you're looking to sign up for a program to help you solve the problem. So now it's like, okay, if you're naturally not that good at it, how long is it going to take you to get good at it? It ain't going to be 6 weeks.
No. Short-term results, 6 weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say if you're on social media now and you see these kind of 6-week shred plans and stuff, I mean, I would just be very aware going into them. It's probably going to be short-lived. It's probably not going to be sustainable. I would say there's more downside than upside to it. And if you're really looking at making, life-lasting changes, which I think everyone does want long-term, I would probably look towards programs where you're working, 6, 12 plus months. Because the reality is it takes years to really master this stuff. And if someone can do it in 6 to 12 months, they've done a phenomenal job. But anyone that claims they can do it in 6 weeks is, to be frank, talking out their ass.
And also, if you could, we'd be offering it. That's why we don't.
If it was that good, we'd be doing it.
And from an expectation standpoint, if you do 12 and you get it done in 10, fantastic.
Just change. And just, it's a good time because everyone, reflects at the end of the year and Christmas and New Year's. This will probably come out after New Year's now. But, with the resolutions and things and, just look at your expectations. Say, have I been realistic with the expectations of myself? Have I been frustrating myself for no reason when I just haven't, just logically looked at my expectations, thought maybe I just need to adjust these. And that doesn't mean, it's like when people say hope for the best, expect the worst. Like, it's not terrible. Like, it's like, I always, like, I'm always very optimistic, but I like to prepare for worst case scenario. It doesn't mean I expect it, but I'm ready for it. So when it does happen, it's not blindsided me and like,
prepare for the worst. Anything else is a bonus.
Right. Someone, when people ask me about something like, should I do this? I go, well, what's the worst case scenario?
100%.
And they go this, and I go, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
And if you're okay with that, then
You're
go
fine.
for it. Yeah. If you're not okay with that, if it's like, oh no, I couldn't live if that happened, I probably wouldn't do it.
If it's anything less than the best case scenario, I'm not okay with it. Then don't do it.
Yeah, they're probably the odds on in your favor.
Yeah. But yeah, hope that was helpful because it is common. January's come around. People are going to be wanting to jump and make quick changes. The motivation's very, very high.
They'll be back in the summer as well.
Yep. And then before Thanksgiving, the cycle repeats. But be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And we'll see you next time.
If you love this show, please like, share, and leave us a 5-star review so that we can help more people. I'm John Madsen, reminding you to always go get what's yours.